Solicitors.
Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.
Hello and welcome to Belfast. We've crossed that choppy Irish Sea and landed here at the Odyssey Arena to pay a visit to league leaders, the Belfast Giants. And we're not the only ones that have crossed that sea.
No, the Cardiff Devils are in town as well for Belfast Giants' second game of 3 games in 3 nights. The Cardiff Devils, they certainly need a victory on the road to get back in the title hunt, whilst the Belfast Giants, they simply can't avoid another defeat here at the O.
It's all here. It's the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show on Sky Sports. Well, we've been treated like royalty this week and we've been allowed to come up here in the posh seats. And Dave, you've even got dressed up for the occasion in your pink shirt and you just about pull it off.
Just about.
Dave, this is my first time here at the Odyssey and from what I can see, it looks like a really well-run organisation.
Oh, the reason for that, Anna, is that it is a really well-run organisation, and the reason for that is down to one man, Todd Kelman. Over his 5 years in charge here, he was a player for 7 before that, but his 5 years as general manager, he's turned this club upside down, and when you come here now, you get that impression. This is a professional hockey club. It's well run top to bottom. It's well coached, good players, great support staff. But overseeing the whole thing is Todd Kelman, and he's the man in charge.
So I guess it's no surprises that the Belfast Giants at the moment, they're top of the league.
Well, this club, this team is geared to win. Everything that Todd Kelman does downwards is geared to his hockey club being the best in the league and his hockey club being in a position where he can win hockey games. He gives the coach, Doug Christensen, the tools to do the job, and that's what any general manager's job is, to run a good business, but to make sure that his head coach, who runs the hockey business, has got all the tools to do his job. And Kelman definitely does that, and Christensen's built a good team. He's repaid Kelman's faith, and that's why they're top of the league. They have a good hockey club.
But it's not just the team. I mean, everyone around it seems to be really helpful and really friendly, and they certainly pull a good crowd here.
Well, they do indeed. And I think one of the things that Todd Kelman's tried to emphasise here is that a night out with the Belfast Giants is a fun night. It's a good night. He actually doesn't compete the Giants with football, with cricket, with rugby. He competes it with X Factor, a night at the cinema, a night at the restaurant. And he wants the families to have a good time here. And from the second they walk in until the second they go home, they're royally entertained at the Odyssey.
What about the Cardiff Devils? I mean, you'll hear in an interview I just did with Jared Adams in a few minutes' time. He said they've had one of the best travel days they've had in years.
Well, the Cardiff Devils have the worst travel in the Elite League by a country mile. You and I get tired just travelling from London and Birmingham to come and do a TV show. Think what it would be like to play. Well, the Cardiff Devils, you know, they've flown into town here. The important thing for Cardiff in that first period is keep it tight, keep it close. If they can come out of the first session level or better, they're in a hockey game. You can never win a hockey game in a period, but you can lose one. And the Cardiff Devils have been to the Odyssey before and lost one in a period. They've got to keep it tight early doors. Do that, they're in with the shout.
Well, I hear in the period breaks you're going to be doing something rather special yourself, which I can't wait to see. Well, let's see how the Belfast Giants got on in their first game of the weekend as they entertain Fife. Here's Chris Ellis.
This was the start of 3 games in 3 nights for both sides, and for Belfast, well, they were looking to make up for last weekend's disappointing 1 point out of 4. Early goal for Pele, a 6th of the season, and the Flyers, without a win all season in the league, hit back when McAlpine stole the puck left-hand side and cut in for 1-1 on the power play at 7:01. They were the only goals of the first session, but into the second, a scramble on the power play for Awada to give the home side the lead, and then Doucette getting in on the out. Look, all sorts of scrambles and near misses. And Doucette with the final touch for goal number 12 for him of the campaign. Time of that one, 31-16. Power play time once more for the Belfast Giants. And Dowd and Clark combine. And Doucette gets his second of the game. That was 4-1 then at the end of the second. Into the third neat move. Lloyd looks like he's going to do the drop pass, but he shoots and scores. So that's 5-1. But then Fife take advantage. Couple of power play goals, 5-on-3. They took advantage. Adam Keefe, he went for a number of penalties, including a game misconduct for slashing. Hamilton scoring there, goal number 9 of the season. And then Another goal coming the visitors' way. Boom from the blue line for Cohen. That's goal number 4 of the season for him. So 5-3 with just under 10 to go. Could there be a Five Flyers fight back? No, there couldn't. What a neat shot from Doucet. Really close in on the netminder. Tight angle. 14th of the season and a hat-trick goal. Belfast 6, 5-3.
So a win to the busy start of the weekend for the Belfast Giants, but I'm with a man who'll be hoping to put a stop to making it 2 wins out of 2. Player coach of the Cardiff Devils, it's Gerard Adams. Gerard, big game for you tonight against the Belfast Giants.
Yeah, it is. They're playing extremely well, and it's always very difficult to come here, so it'll be a nice little challenge for us.
Just how important is that first period to you guys?
I think it's going to be really huge. I think, they got a very quick team, very small team, and they want to use that to their advantage. And I think we're going to rely heavily on Stevie Lau for the first little bit. But if we can kind of keep it calm for the first 10, 12 minutes, I think we've got a good chance.
Traditionally, how well have the Devils travelled here to the Odyssey?
It's been a little bit of a struggle. Like I said, they have a good team. But today was actually an extremely easy day for us with the travels. So hopefully that'll play a factor in our start.
And what about the end of season titles? Against the likes of Nottingham and Belfast, are you still confident that you can do it?
I think we got obviously a ways to go to catch up, but for us, I don't think the progress is looking at the end of the year. Obviously, with us with an import short right now, it is almost game by game, and we're more worried about our performance, Challenge Cup, and just starting to improve. We beat Nottingham in our rink just the other week, so it's about picking points up on the road as well.
So what's the mood like in the dressing room ahead of tonight's game?
Really good, really positive. I think, there's a couple guys that's the first time here, and, we do enjoy coming here. This is a great facility and kind of a great place to come watch a game, and it's a good show for our league here.
It's always a good crowd here. How important is it to you guys to have a good crowd behind you?
Well, at home, it's a huge advantage for us at home, especially with our tiny little blue tent. It's massive for us, but I know the Giants probably rely on it as well. I mean, they've got a good crowd here, and they're used to success, especially in the Elite League or in the Super League.
Well, we'll let G get ready for the start of this game here at the Odyssey, whilst we head over to the NIC in Nottingham. The old enemies clashed once again, the Panthers and the Sheffield Steelers. We've also got highlights from Coventry's visit to the Hull Ice Arena as well. Our man talking us through these two, Chris Ellis.
A near sellout National Ice Centre crowd for the third meeting of the season between these two. Panthers have won the last 2 in the Cup, but the Steelers made the better start in their league campaign. Nielsen from left point going close, and then Francis with the rebound. Myers with the face-off win here. Another chance for the Panthers. Clark, but he was denied. Early doors, Panthers were creating some good chances. Now a controversial moment. Left-hand corner of your screen. Andy Carson seeing that one, and adjudging Jeff Harima 5 in game for checking to the head. So he was to go early on inside the first 7 minutes, and Panthers were an import short. Now, that didn't matter for the Panthers at that stage. Lakovic creating a chance. Nottingham, as I say, getting good chances, but the Steelers outshot the Panthers 15-8 in the first period, and actually 30-25 in the game. Flath with a chance there, right-hand side, but denied by Craig Kowalski. Nottingham continued to push. Matthew Myers so strong on the boards there away from Burnstill. Danny Myers denied. Chance for Nottingham there. They were creating those good chances. Now, turnover by the Panthers. Steelers into the offensive zone. It's Jeff LeGray denied by Kowalski. Good save. Really was an entertaining game. At the other end, in the second period, King takes a move on Wilson, leaves the leg out on Kowalski. Fox goes to attempt to him, gives him a shove, but then King drops his gloves and lands a few punches on Fox. Fox gets 2 minutes for roughing. King dropped his gloves and went in on Fox, so he has 5 minutes for fighting. Fox comes out to the box, Panthers on the power play, and look how involved and how clever Fox is. Gives it to Nielsen, back to Fox. This is amazing. Looks to shoot, doesn't. Looks to go for Nielsen, doesn't. Goes to Clark. Boom! That's Clark's spot. 1-0 Panthers on the power play. You can see by their reaction what they think to Fox's move. Now, another chance for the Panthers. Nielsen to Clark. Clark shoots wide. Panthers certainly laying on the chances on the power play. Nielsen once more. Clark looks to shoot, goes to the back door. It's going to come to Fox. Oh, side netting, and it stays at 1-0. And that's the way it stayed. 2 points for the Panthers. Nottingham 1, Sheffield Steelers 0. Both sides can't now qualify from Group B of the Challenge Cup, but Coventry gave a debut to Woolhouse Park, where the first scoring action went Hull's way. Campbell and Silverthorne combining for Osmond's 7th of the season. Now we see a bout of fisticuffs. Andrew McKinney, he's 20, from EPL side Telford, was on a 2-way contract. Now he's there full-time with the Blaze, up against the fight a week man, Jernick. After the fight, McKinney says he's not quite sure why he did it, but fair play to the lad for standing up to Jernick. Now, lovely move there, Tenderlow, what a finish, 2-0 to the home side, and surely they were on their way to victory. But the Blaze had other ideas, and first of all, Jernick gets involved in his second fight, this time with Campbell, maybe more of a match-up than the last one. The two of them really start going, Campbell with some lefts, Jernick holding on at this point, getting his hand around the back. But then you'll see when Jernick breaks his hand free, gets some rights in, and then some more rights from Campbell, lefts from Jernick. This is a good fight, a good tough fight, two tough men, and the linesmen get in between and they break that one up. But that was an enjoyable one. And who wins that one? I'll leave for you to decide, but it was a good fight, both sides having punches thrown. Now, Coventry needed to get back into the game in the third session, and they did. 5-on-3 power play rebound for Crowell, goal number 8 of the season. So it's 2-1 going into the final stages, just over 5 minutes to go. Good move, Crowell and Fussy, and Guthrie scores there. So we are tied up at 2-2, and it's going to be a point apiece in the Challenge Cup, and the honours are shared. Final score in Hull, the Stingrays 2, Coventry 2.
Well, who'd have thought, Dave, that's the first Panthers-Steelers game you've missed in years.
17 of them.
But 17, but you get to spend the weekend with me, so that's got to be a bonus.
Hey, every job has its perks, eh, guys?
Oh, yeah. We've got to take a break now, but join us shortly as we've got the rest of the highlights from the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League, as well as the game from here in Belfast.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. This week from the Odyssey Arena in Belfast. In a moment, Dave Simms will be talking to 3 youngsters that have a very bright future ahead of them here in Belfast. But first, let's get some action, and here's Chris Ellis.
Both sides went into this game with a bit of form, so who would come out on top in an enthralling Scottish derby? Boom from the blue line for Sladdock's first goal of the season meant Edinburgh had a first period lead. Into the second session, and break by Dundee and McIntosh near side. It's 1-1 at 8:59 into that second session. So to third period action, and player coach Hartman, great move, great pass, Mackenzie scores, and the Caps are back in front once more. But only 34 seconds later, Dan Seaman breaks into the offensive zone, goes behind the net. The Caps give the puck away to Conkle, and Conkle to his player coach. We are tied at 2-2 in the third session. Now, a funny moment, there's a stick on the floor. It is one of the Dundee stars. In fact, it's McLean's. He breaks away, tries to play the centering feed with his foot to Hutchins, but can't do so. We're still tied at 2-2. Overtime then. Great move here from Hartman, and Yarrelin gets the final touch. The overtime win for the Caps. Dundee get 1 point, Edinburgh 2 points. It finishes Dundee 2, Edinburgh 3.
So final preparations are being made here ahead of tonight's game between the Belfast Giants and the Cardiff Devils. And Dave managed to catch up earlier with 3 young players who are hoping to make a big impact on the Belfast Giants.
One of the main reasons that the Belfast Giants are challenging for league titles, not only this season but in the past 2 seasons, is the improving quality of the British players that are here playing at the Odyssey Arena. It started with Colin Shields, it went with Stephen Murphy, but now there are 3 new young guns in town, young protégés who are taking the Giants to new heights. Craig Peacock, Robert Dowd and Mark Guyside. These are the men, and we'll start with you, Mark, who are going to take the Belfast Giants to a new generation. It's exciting times here in Belfast. It was surely the right decision for you to come and join, wasn't it?
I mean, certainly we played those 4 sort of long seasons in Edinburgh just to try and get myself up to a sort of level I could play in a top team. it's good to be here challenging for trophies.
Must be a big difference as well. In Edinburgh you were fighting, if you like, just to make the playoffs, but here you're fighting for Challenge Cups, for playoff titles, and right now at the moment at the top of the league.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I came here, was to challenge every year for trophies, try and win the league, to try for honours instead of, being one of the kind of scrapping it out down there at the bottom. It's much more enjoyable.
It is. Daddy, you've won a league title. You know what it is to lift that ultimate prize. I'm sure that's one of the reasons that Doug Christensen brought you here. But here, this can be your city, can't it? The three of you can be just more than hockey players here.
Of course, Belfast Giants in this city is a huge deal, so it's great to be a part of the club.
Yeah. When you came here, obviously having Craig, having Mark, having some of the younger guns here, is that what sold you the deal, that the three of you, if you like, could almost be the identity of this club?
Well, when Doug first called me, he told me he wanted to build a team. He didn't just want to go out and then buy all the top-end Brits. He wanted to get up-and-coming Brits and topper-end Brits that are going to build and stay at this club for a long time, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, Craig, you were the first one, weren't you? You were the first one that came here and started the ball rolling, and it's developed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has developed. Like I said, I was the youngest Brit here at the time, and there was Shieldsy, lived with him, I looked up to him a lot, he taught me, and then Mark came and Dowdy this year, and it's great to be here with these guys, and we're looking to build for the future and hope to win a championship this year.
Doug just said to me before we started this interview that he said to all three of you that he was handing you the keys, if you like, to the Belfast Giants. He wanted you to be their identity. He wanted you to be the guys that were the focal point of this hockey club. Do you see that starting to happen more and more?
Yeah, I think so. He said that to all of us at the start of the year. He sat us down, and I think it's starting to begin that way. He has a lot of faith in all of us. He uses us all in all situations, and yeah, things are going well right now, so hopefully we continue to the end of the season.
Winning a championship, Dad, is so important. As I say, you've been in that situation before. When you're in that dressing room, do you get the same feeling as perhaps you had in Sheffield when you won championships there, that this is a championship year?
Yeah, of course. Like in Sheffield, there was always a lot of belief and always a lot of knowing we could do it. I get the same feeling here. I know we've got the talent, I know we've got it in our locker, so we just got to get it done.
Yeah. Is there an art to learning how to win when you perhaps you've been at a club that has struggled to win, that you're now at a club now that is gunning for a championship? Is there a different mentality here?
Certainly, we go into every game expecting to get picking up points. I mean, it's perhaps in Edinburgh it was more sort of we're the underdog, whereas here you're confident you're going to win, and it's a real disappointment if you don't. So I guess he kind of picked up as well last season with the more experienced players, kind of helped us along. Helped get you that mentality of really needing to win every game.
Yeah, and just coming back to you, Craig, the pressure. Is there a pressure in playing at a club like the Belfast Giants? And is that an awkward kind of thing when you first come into a club like this?
Yeah, there is a pressure. I don't think it's awkward. Belfast expect to win championships, and my previous 2 seasons here we've lost out in the league by a point, which is tough to take. My first year we won the playoffs, last year we didn't get anything, and there's definitely a sense of disappointment around the city then, so we want to bounce back this year.
Can you go 1 point better this year? Can you win it? Can you deliver it?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Well, from one set of young guns to another, give or take a few years, GB coach Paul Thompson has been very good all season and led us into some of his training sessions. Let's see what he's got in store for us this week.
Welcome to another Coventry Blaze training session and another chance for GB and Blaze head coach Paul Thompson to show us some of the work he's doing with the youngsters in Coventry. This time Robert Farmer and Ross Venus with the main spotlight as they practice working around the net.
Okay, what we're going to do today, you see we've lined up the guys. We've got young Ross Venus here. Okay, and last time he came down and we did a bit with Griffin on defensive responsibilities. Ross has a hell of a lot of talent, all the talent in the world, but look, the biggest thing a lot of the younger British players don't have is the size and the strength for the elite league level. So we've got him on a weights program, and we're trying to put weight on him. And Robert Farmer, who's also going to be in this drill, he went away in the summer and he put on 14 pounds worth of muscle mass. And thing about play, they have Russell obviously Farms is a couple of years ahead of Ross Venus right now. But what Ross has the awareness, he can make the plays, he can make the passes, he can skate with anybody in the league. But it's just the physical sides, and it's playing with traffic, playing in traffic. And there's so much, especially in a small rink like this. So I've got 2 of our bigger defensemen. Dustin Wood, he's played majority of his career in the American League and the DEL. David Phillips, American League, GB International, 2 of our bigger defensemen. So all we're going to be doing on this, Ross is going to be making a pass down to Dave in the corner. Then it's his job to try and get to the net. And Dustin's going to be looking to box him out, so he's got to fight through that pick, get to the net for the return pass. These are the kind of game situation drills that Ross is going to have to deal with when he's going into Cardiff, when he's going into Sheffield, when he's going into Nottingham. And he's got to learn to deal with the big boys and get open and be strong going to the net and have low support. The one thing you'll see is when you drive into the net, it's dropping that bottom hand right down, so you're harder to push off your position. So we'll run this drill. You know, it's up to the passer to find you. You're going with your stick down, planted, you're giving him a target, okay? So Farms, let's go again. At full speed, go. We teach our guys to drive the back post because we want the goalie to address where the puck is. So in this drill, the goalie will play off his front post, and then we want him moving 6 foot laterally, and I want our players driving the back post. Come here, bring out, then drop it, and you've got to fight for your ice. You've really got to fight for your ice there. Tom, your left-handed shot, right? You come in this side of the goalie, you're not going to score from there. You don't want to be taking him in, then back out. You want to be going to the back post. You want to be moving the goalie from his post 6 feet. He hasn't got to move. So you take him out, back in. Yeah? Yeah, every time. Out and back in. Again, Ross is going to have to learn to, you know, sometimes you have to fight for your space on the ice and you fight for your ice. And sometimes you've got to be the aggressor, even when you have the puck, and throw a bump. Bump him away to give you that millisecond of time that you might be able to get that step inside or get that shot to the net. So these are game-specific drills that we teach. So that's the first drill. The second drill, we're going to have them tight by the post. And this is actually an area Farmer excels at because he uses his big reach and he can spin off and get pucks to the net under pressure from a defenseman. So these are game-specific drills that we teach because it's all the information that we give to these young guys that are hopefully going to develop them to be the top players that we hope they're going to be. Well, as you can see, we like to put our younger players, we like to break drills down in certain areas. We like to match them up with the veterans. We like the veterans to pass on their information. It's not just the coaches, and specify areas where they've got to develop. And I think, you know, that's a big part of coaching. It's a big part of coaching young guys. And hopefully, you know, these kind of things are being taught at junior level all the way through because it just gives these kids a head start on what they've got to do and what they need to do in certain areas. And you know, in Ross Venus, I've loaned Ross out to Telford for the next couple of weeks because he wasn't getting too much ice time. He's going to be a big prospect for us going forward. But at 17, he needs to play, and he needs to play in all situations. And he's getting valuable ice time over in Telford. You know, we'll be playing penalty kill, he'll be playing on the power play. You know, areas where he doesn't play as much here. So, and then when I do need him, we bring him back. He's confident, he's ready, and confidence is a huge, huge part of any athlete, and especially when you're a young kid making it through.
Farmer is having a great season under Thompson's tutorship, but there's just no excusing that haircut.
Don't know about you guys at home, but I really enjoyed that. Time now to take a break, but join us shortly as we've still got 6 more games of highlights to show you. More action coming soon.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Now we're moments away from face-off here in Belfast, but before we see the highlights of that game, Dave, I've got to ask you, who do you fancy tonight? My money's on the Belfast Giants, but who are you backing?
I think your money's safe, Anna. I think I'm going for the Belfast Giants as well.
Why?
Well, I'll give you a couple of reasons. One, Mark Smith. No Mark Smith for the Cardiff Devils. He's out for the season with a shoulder surgery that he's had done. A big blow for the Cardiff Devils. 2, Stephen Murphy is out goaltending Stephen Lahr right now. Lahr used to be the #1 goalie. Murphy's now got his position. 3, I just think the Belfast Giants are a better club. They've got more depth. I think they're a little bit more clinical. And I think here at home, as the #1 club, yeah, I think Belfast Giants, your money's safe.
Well, I can't believe you're agreeing with me. There's got to be a first for everything. Well, let's see how they got on. Here's Chris Ellis.
A crowd of 4,298 saw a game between a side with only 2 home losses all season against a side with only 2 road wins all season. First big chance, McRae is denied by Stephen Murphy. Still first period action, Devils coming forward with Matska. The men change on the fly. Jumping into the plate is Hill. Hill shoots and scores. It's 1-1. 10:34 gone in the game, and Hill gets a 6th goal of the season. Watch how Matska drives the net, provides the screen, and Devils lead. Now, a moment of controversy. It all happens in a flash. Shot comes in from right side, deflected. Is it over the line? Is it clawed back? Slow-mo action replay, please. We will see here. Yeah, it's over the line. There you go. Giants should have been level at 1-1. In the second session, power play time. In the box is McRae for slashing, and Giants just be patient with the man advantage, and Doucette and Clark combine, and Mason goes in at the back door, a 6th goal of the season, and that's 25-49. Good pass there, wasn't it, from Clark to level the scores. Less than a minute later, though, look what happens. Belfast just slightly go to sleep. It is the Devils working the walls well, as always. Pierce and Beerbray getting the assist here. It's a delayed penalty, and the final touch there by Kempton Smith with his 2nd goal of the season. And that's the way it finishes. Cardiff win in Belfast. Belfast 1, Cardiff 2.
Huge win, Jay.
Yeah, it was massive. I think to get out of the first 6-7 minutes without giving up a goal kind of set the tone for us, and we spent a lot of time in our zone, and Stevie Lyle was far and away the best player on the ice tonight for both teams.
Belfast had a lot of pressure, but the D as well, they seem to box out. They contain the Belfast Giants, which a lot of clubs haven't been able to do this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're so skilled and quick that that's our game plan, is just to kind of keep them to the outside, let Stevie see as many pucks as he can, and be comfortable in our own zone. We worked a lot on our defensive zone. And the way we're shaped up with our team right now is we are going to play a lot of defense.
You also have to kill a lot of penalties as well. Belfast had a lot of opportunities on the power play tonight.
Yeah, it's the way the league runs. Sometimes you're on the opposite end of that where you get more power plays, but it is what it is. And I thought we did an excellent job on the PK tonight. Again, Stevie was our best penalty killer.
Once Belfast got it back to 1-1, it was imperative you scored quickly that 2nd goal, and you did. It was a great finish from Smith.
Outstanding. I think Kenton started a little bit slow this year, but he's getting better and better over the last half dozen games, and he's back to where he should be, an elite defenseman in our league and one of the highest scoring ones.
A lot of heads around the league are going to turn when they see this result tonight. You've got to be able to now build on this and put a great run together and get back in that title race.
Yeah, it's just I think the biggest thing for us right now is get the confidence back in our club, get the morale back, not only with our players but with our fans and supporters and sponsors. It's a great place to come, and we are playing hard hockey, and just get a little get the crowd back in our rink is the biggest thing.
Okay, well, that was a great win tonight. Well done.
Thank you.
Doug, the look on your face tells the story. It's one of frustration, I would imagine, because you had enough chances to win that game twice over.
Sure did, but we didn't do it. And right now, defensively, we held a very good team to 19 shots tonight, and we held them to 2 goals, and we didn't get the win. It's very, very frustrating. I think the team itself needs to find a way to kind of pick itself up right now, and that starts with me. Obviously, we haven't played well over the last couple of weeks, and now it's a matter of tomorrow we've got another game, so hopefully we can get a result in Edinburgh and move forward.
What do you put it down to? Because you've got all the offensive firepower, the talent there. It just doesn't seem to be finding the back of the net right now, especially on the power play as well.
Well, last night we scored 4 power play goals, so tonight, the fact was we didn't put it away. Power plays, some nights it's great, some nights it's not, and sometimes it's you face a good goaltender. But overall, 5-on-5 is what's really hurting us. We aren't creating enough chances by going to the net, shooting pucks, getting ugly goals. You look at the goal we had tonight, it's a pretty goal. You're not going to see a probably better goal all week, but the bottom line is we need that goal to go off a shin pad. We need that goal when guys are driving to the net and you just get a little bit of a tip on it or a rebound, and we're not doing that at the moment. We're far too perimeter, and quite frankly, we've got a couple guys who need to put the puck in the net.
You've got a couple of spare players. Is this a time where perhaps you sit a guy down and draft a guy in?
Well, I've already told the guys we're going to change the lineup for tomorrow. I'll make some decisions after looking at the video. But you know what? This is professional hockey. It's a results-based business, and we need players who are going to step up to the challenge. And right now, it's another guy's opportunity to be in the lineup, and another guy's got to sit and wait his turn until someone else screws up.
Well, it certainly was a great game of hockey, but Dave, it wasn't the score we predicted. In fact, we were wrong. We were very wrong.
We were indeed. Stevie Lyle out-goaltended Stephen Murphy, though I would say the defence in front of Lyle tonight I thought was outstanding. The other point we made was Mark Smith. No Mark Smith for the Cardiff Devils. How would they cope without their best defensive defenceman? The answer, very well. They boxed out, they blocked out. They got good stick on the Belfast Giants all night. They kept them to the perimeter. The Belfast Giants couldn't get in those dirty areas to score goals. Congratulations, Cardiff. They worked so hard tonight.
But what about this win? It's a great win for the Cardiff Devils. What does this mean for them?
Well, hopefully the Cardiff Devils can build on it. They play a big game against Braehead in Cardiff on Sunday. But can they build on it? That's the big thing. I hope they can. I hope they can start to put a run together like they did last season. Because Belfast can always do this. They can always win that big game, and then it goes off the rails a little bit. Now's the time for consistency. It's going to be tough without Smith, but you know what? The Cardiff Devils, they can still battle and do that.
It was exciting to watch those tonight, Nate.
It was exciting to watch, and it was frustrating, and you could see that frustration on Doug Christensen's face because he knew his team had the chances to win tonight, but they just couldn't put the puck in the net. The 10 imports that started this game tonight, I don't think those 10 imports will start the game in Braehead. He's got the spare, he'll use it. He's got to threaten, he's got to beat them with a stick.
Well, we shall see. Time now, though, to get some more action. And let's see how the Coventry Blaze and the Nottingham Panthers got on in their second games of the weekend. Here's Chris Ellis.
After their home defeat to Edinburgh on Saturday, Dundee Stars player coach Dan Seaman called his side arrogant, and they fell behind in the first session. A neat backhand finish on the power play for Greg Owen's fourth of the season. Into period 2, and Hutchins and Saab combine, and Dolan scores the final touch there. That is 1-1. 24-29 time of the goal. Into the offensive zone, Weaver drops it off for Fulgham. Puck isn't saved correctly by Whitley, and driving the net is Woo-Sang Park, who gets the goal on his home debut. Now Hughes, oh, what a move. Beats Griffin, solo goal, takes a deflection, so 2-2. We're all square at 2-2 in the second session. Into the third session, power play time, and Weaver swaps on the points there with Fussy. Crowell provides the pass, and the final touch by Fulgham in the slot. Goal number 12 of the season for him. Now, forward come the Stars with Seaman short-handed. It's spilled by Hirsch. We're tied at 3-3. Game on, game alive. Going now into the final 10 minutes in the Skydome. Who's to get the final important goal? Because there is only one more goal. Power play time. Fulgham and Weaver with the assist, and McLean with the tip. It's all over in the Skydome. No more scoring, and Coventry get the 2 points. Blaze 4, Dundee 3. This was Nottingham's 6th trip of the season to Scotland. They'd won the previous 5, and for the Flyers, a 3rd game in as many nights. Good pass out defence by Nielsen, and Jordan Fox there with a 10th goal of the season. 1-0 at 3:53. It became 2-0. Beauregard and Arima setting up Brock Wilson from left point. That was 2-0 at the end of the first session. Into the third, and good move involving Fox and Nielsen, setting up Nottingham-born Robert Lakovic. Goal number 10 of the season for him, just into the second session. Still Nottingham came forward, and this time Nielsen and Lakovic combined. Turn of speed from Fox, a second of the night, and goal number 11 of the season for him. And Nielsen had 3 assists on the first 4 goals. Good work on the wall this time from Francis, who brings it inside once more, and Beauregard is there, 18th of the season for him. So Nottingham 5-0 up at the end of 2 sessions. Into the third session, Clark for Champagne. Champagne working the wall behind the net pretty well, and Danny Myers, the captain, in the slot for his first goal of the season. But were 5 Flyers to get on the board? They were. Nice goal. Siddle, nice move. Beats Stevie Lee, cuts inside, and they score 7:53 into the final session. So at that stage, it was 6-1 game. Now, Nottingham working hard behind the net again. Clark and Fox involved on the power play. Clark's shot is safe but deflected, and Harima scores goal number 4 of the season for him. And there was more time for one more goal. Fox was to get 2+3 on the night. Great move from him, finding Champagne and levers into the net there with just 41 seconds to go. Final score, 5-1, Nottingham 8.
Time now for another break, but don't go anywhere, as we'll be taking a look at the rest of the action from around the league and looking forward to what's in store this weekend.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports, where we've just witnessed a great game of hockey here at the Odyssey, which, to be honest, I can't recommend enough.
I couldn't either. It's been a super night. But let's round up the rest of the action from around the Elite Ice Hockey League, starting with a big Challenge Cup game in Sheffield.
Challenge Cup action here, and the Steelers needed a victory to keep alive their semi-final hopes. The opening move, the opening goal was great. Stevenson to Huttle. Then to Hewitt, left-hand side. Hewitt goes behind the net and works hard behind that net. The puck is picked up by Finnerty. Finnerty comes out in front. It's Finnerty's shot from the top of the left circle. Rebound, and Cole King, he gets a lot of his goals there, doesn't he? Goal number 9 of the season. Well worked from back to front, involving 5 players. And as you see, he's just driving the net and gets the final touch. You see him just in front, ready for the rebound. Comes off the post, and King's there. And he is the king of Sheffield to give the home side the lead at Ice Sheffield. Now, these Stingrays, though, certainly are made of sterner stuff, but they had to wait to get back into the game because, again, this is a good move. Clark and Burnstill combining, and the man with the final touch is Flath for his 3rd goal since joining the club. Don't forget, he's a new recruit, is Flath, and he gets goal number 3 of his Sheffield Steelers career. You see him coming towards the net here, and as he falls over, he gets his shot away. 2-0 to the Sheffield Steelers. As I said, Hull are made of stern stuff at the moment. They needed to get back into the game to get some pride back. What a scramble. Where's the puck? No one knows. But the goal's gone in. It is a 2-1 game. McKinney, his first goal for the club. Of course, the former EPL Telford man, McKinney, gets the final touch. Doesn't matter how you get them, he will be happy to get his first Hull Stingrays goal. Final score in the Challenge Cup. The Steelers have 2 games to go against Coventry and Cardiff. Win them both, and they're in the semi-finals. Sheffield 2, Hull 1. Both these sides have great home records, but they're not so good on the road. So Cardiff started as favourites. Watch this for an opening goal. Whacked out of mid-air, Jeff Pearce, a 14th goal of the season. Clever, intelligent and talented play. Anyway, back came Braehead. Good movement on the power play, and Bayrak scores an 11th goal of the season. He scored 12 in 36 last year for Belfast, and that was goal number 11. Now, the home side coming forward. Beerbray cuts inside Phillips. Lovely goal, lovely finish. 2-1 Cardiff then, a 7th of the season for Beerbray, short-handed as well. 2-1 became 3-1. Did it? McRae scores? No. It is washed off for offside. Linesman there, Johnny on the spot. He saw that clear as night became day. So 2-1. And still Braehead very much in it. Good play by Galbraith behind the net. And look, in the slot is Bayrak. He now has 12, as many as he had last season. So Braehead level at 2-2 into the 3rd session. And look once more, Bayrak again. Bayrak now has 13 in 11. Sweet move, Galbraith and McPherson with the assists. So that's 3 assists in the game for Galbraith. 3-2 Braehead, they lead for the first time. But back came the Devils. Davis driving at the back door with just over 5 minutes to go. We're tied up at 3-3 and we go to overtime. 1 point apiece. Who's getting that extra one? It is Beerbray. He gives it away, and Wedderburn scores. Wedderburn scores with 31 seconds of OT remaining. So Braehead get the extra point and win the game on the road. Cardiff Devils 3, Braehead Clan 4. Belfast playing their 3rd game in as many nights. They beat Fife but lost to Cardiff. Edinburgh go into the game on the back of an overtime win in Dundee. But the visitors ahead. Peacock with his 6th goal of the season. It soon became 7, short-handed for him. The assist that time to Rebeck and Dignard. That was a 2-0 first period lead. It became 3 when Dignard got on the target himself. And then it became 3-1. Menton with his 3rd goal of the season. Back the other way, and Peacock completed his hat-trick with goal number 8 of the season for him. And then 4-2. Zemberg's getting goal number 4 of a good season for him. Looked a solid player. Yarrelin and McKenzie with the assist. So 4-2 scoring wide. Then a fight, about of fisticuffs. Peacock getting the instigator and the fighting major. So far just the fighting major. So 2 of them going to the box. Bit of a longer sit for Peacock. Didn't matter to the Giants. Doucette got his 15th goal of the campaign on the power play. 5-2 into the 3rd session then, and Peacock and Pele combining. Robert Dow with his first of the night. 6-2 then in session 3. More goals to come, 15-51 into the third session, and Garside with a 7th of the season, so that's 7-2, and there was still time for Pele and Dignog to combine, and Dowd getting his 10th of the season and his 2nd of the night. But the star of the show was Craig Peacock. He got a goal, actually 3 of them. He got an assist and he had a fight, a Gordie Howe hat-trick. Final score, Edinburgh 2, Belfast 8.
Would Tuesday night's hockey action in Kirkcaldy be the biggest story of the weekend? The Hull Stingrays in town as Todd Dutium's side went looking for their first league win in 15 games. They got off to the perfect start. Good work from Carl Horn. Off the half-boards comes Siddle and he fires a wrist shot that Boucher couldn't see. The Flyers led by 1-0. The first period was all about the 5 Flyers. They were all over the Hull Stingrays, who certainly had got the bus legs. Recent signing Hartmanus from the Newcastle Vipers. He made a difference. He's looking for Danny Stewart at the back door, but the puck ricochets off the Hull Stingrays defenceman, and the Flyers led by 2-0. Their good fortune was to continue as well in the second period. Excellent work again from Siddle. He headmans the puck, takes a shot, another rebound from Boucher. If at first you don't succeed, off the post, but Cohen makes it 3-0, and the 5 Flyers were on their way to 2 league points. Back came the Hull Stingrays. They're on the power play, and the 5 Flyers penalty kill is the worst in the league by a country mile. Persistence, but Fife are chasing shadows, and Tendler shoots and scores. The Hull Stingrays back in this one. And Derek Campbell, the Hull Stingrays have a player who's persistent and knows how to win. His persistence certainly paid off for the second goal. First shot gets taken down, and he still manages to get the second shot away. More power play time was to follow, though, for the Stingrays. Muir off for slashing. And look how static the penalty kill of the 5 Flyers is. It's just tic-tac-toe from the Hull Stingrays. It's going to come across to Rodin, and on a one-timer, he's going to level this game at 3 apiece. 3 first of all for the Flyers, 3 without reply from the Stingrays. It was to get worse. One's off for tripping. More power play time for Sylvain Cloutier's team. And with less than 8 minutes remaining, Curtis Dooley is going to put the Hull Stingrays ahead. Look how much time he's got. He fires one through traffic. Garrett Zemiak can't see it. If he can't see it, he can't stop it. And from being 3 up, the 5 Flyers are 4-3 down, and the points are on their way back to Hull. Also, we thought, 90 seconds remain. Look at the work Cohen does. He skates through the entire Hull Stingrays team, and he sets up a simple tap-in as Siddle gets his 11th of the season at 58-34. 86 seconds remaining. And that sets up a penalty shootout. Rodin first to shoot. He goes backhand, forehand. He's denied by Zemiak. Then Danny Stewart. Forehand, backhand, goes forehand. Boucher gets the right pad across. Denied. This time last year, you'd put all your money on Tendler scoring. This year, you wouldn't put your mother-in-law's money on Tendler scoring. Denied. Hamilton slowly takes a shot off the post, beats Boucher. Hamilton shoots and scores. That meant that Jason Silverthorne had to shoot and score. Zamak doesn't know if he's got it. Now he knows he's got it. Yes, the 5 Flyers have won their first game of the season. They beat out the Hull Stingrays by 5-4 in a cracker in Kirkcaldy.
So here's a recap of all the results from the weekend. As we saw here at the Odyssey, Cardiff beat Belfast 2-1. Elsewhere, Fife suffered a 10-1 drubbing at Braehead. Edinburgh beat Dundee 3-2 in overtime. It was all square at Hull against Coventry, and Nottingham took a victory over the Steelers, 1-0 there. On Sunday, Cardiff's weekend was soured after losing to Braehead 4-3 in overtime. Coventry beat Dundee by the same scoreline, and Belfast recovered from Saturday with an 8-2 victory in the Scottish capital. Nottingham beat Fife 8-1 to complete a difficult weekend for the Flyers, and the Steelers took a victory against Hull, 2-1 the score there. And finally on Tuesday, Fife recorded their first league win of the season at home against Hull. Here's how the league table looks after this week's games. Belfast are still on top with Nottingham just 2 points behind. Sheffield are third, followed by Coventry. Fife's win doesn't lift them off the bottom, but they've closed the gap between themselves and Dundee. So that rounds up all of the games we have for you this week, but there's plenty more action coming your way next weekend. Let's see if any of these fixtures can tempt you to go along to a rink near you.
On Saturday, the 19th of November, the Braehead Clan take on the Sheffield Steelers. The Cardiff Devils host the Coventry Blaze. Edinburgh Capitals take on the Hull Stingrays, whilst over the bridge the Five Flyers take on the Belfast Giants. Flip forward 24 hours to Sunday, November the 20th, and the Cardiff Devils are at the Skydome Arena in Coventry. Dundee host the Belfast Giants. Second home game of the weekend for the Edinburgh Capitals, this time taking on the Brayhead Clan. The Hull Stingrays versus the Five Flyers, and those Steelers and those Panthers, well, they get it on once more. Tuesday, the 22nd of November, sees the Brayhead Clan taking on the Edinburgh Capitals. 24 hours after that, on Wednesday the 23rd, the Cardiff Devils host the Hull Stingrays.
Dave, a quick word on those fixtures. Cardiff v Coventry.
Big game for the Cardiff Devils. This is what we talk about with the Cardiff Devils. They've done the hard work, Anna, here in Belfast tonight. Can they now go on and take it? Get a run going, beat the Coventry Blaze. Cardiff should win their home games in Cardiff. They've built a team to play in that small rink. I think that's probably going to be the game of the weekend. The Cardiff Devils now, you know, they've got a little bit of momentum going. Jared Adams talked earlier about confidence. I think he's got confidence going. So I think that will be the biggest game of the weekend.
It's going to be a tough weekend, though, for the Sheffield Steelers.
Well, it's always a tough weekend for all of the clubs, but the travel involved, they'll go to Brayhead on Saturday and then come back and take on the Nottingham Panthers. Nottingham, at the moment, own the Sheffield Steelers. They're 3-0 in 2 Challenge Cup games and 1 league game. It's about time Sheffield put that right.
Well, you can see all of the highlights from those games on next week's show. We're back next Friday, the 25th of November at 5 p.m. on Sky Sports 4, so make sure you set your recorders for that one. Well, that's all we've got time for today. I think I can say on behalf of Dave and myself, we've had a thoroughly good time here in Belfast. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.